I'm one of the co-presidents of the Gamma Iota Sigma Beta Mu chapter at CU Denver. I'm currently a sophomore studying economics, and so, yep, that is me. I'll let Charles introduce himself as well as the other co-president.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Charles. I'm the other co-president. I'm a senior studying economics. I will be done this semester. I'm extremely excited. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
Thank you so much, Charles. And then Sarah, would you like to introduce yourself as well, if you are able to?
Yes, hello. I'm Sarah Kelsey. I'm the External Relations Coordinator for the RMI program and staff advisor for GIS. I'm sorry that I didn't ask before I started recording, but is it okay with everyone if we're recording today? Awesome. Thank you very much. And Linda, thank you again for being here.
Yes, of course. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
So we've got an amazing guest speaker with us today, Miss Linda from Lockton Insurance. And so Linda, if you'd just like to take about 5 to 10-ish minutes just to kind of introduce yourself, maybe like your academic and personal journey up to Lockton, and maybe just kind of a little bit about Lockton as well, about like the work culture there, what you guys strive to do. So the floor is yours and you may take it away, Miss Linda.
Certainly. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Caleb. I am Linda Abucejo. I am a senior HR business partner with Lockton Companies in Denver. I've been with Lockton for about 7 years now. So I started there as a recruiter and have worked my way into some other areas, and now I'm a senior HR business partner. Before that, I'd worked in some other industries. This was my first experience with insurance. But have been in the field of HR for about 15 years total, I would say. So I went to school at Iowa State University and earned my bachelor's in psychology there. And then I received my master's degree in industrial relations, which is now an obsolete field, but it's similar to HR management. As far as Lockton goes, I've had the pleasure of being there for 7 years, and I've been able to definitely develop in my career there. So I've really appreciated the foundations of associate development that we strive to achieve. We have a lot of opportunities within our organization for growth and for earning designations. And things of that nature. So it's definitely a great place to grow your career. Some of the other constituencies that we have as a company at Lockton include giving back to our communities. So we do a lot with different organizations throughout the Denver area. We also have offices within our Mountain West series that include Phoenix, Las Vegas. We just opened a Seattle office this year. So that was really exciting to have that office join us. And then we have a Salt Lake City office as well. So we do a lot of partnership with different charitable organizations in the community to give back. We're working on our United Way campaign currently. And that's always a lot of fun within our company because we do a 2-week fundraising campaign where we have, in the past, we've had different like food events and producer raffles and just like fun times during those 2 weeks. So it's a really great cause and it's a lot of fun within the organization as well. This year, of course, it'll be a little bit different because we're virtual, but we're still, doing some of the fun activities and going to, give back quite a bit to the community. So we're excited about that. The other piece is our client service. So we strive to maintain really great client relationships and keep our clients with us. So retention is a big piece of our culture as well, and just having those relationships with the clients and with each other internally. One of the things that I like about Lockton too is that we really empower our associates to make the best decisions for the clients. So our philosophy is really that we give you the tools that you need to be successful, and then we want our associates to go out and make it happen and do the right things for their clients and the company. So it's a really great place to be and place to grow and to develop those client relationships and technical skills that you may be looking for. With our organization, so the way that Lockton is set up is that we've got our headquarters in Kansas City, and then we have different series offices. So our series is Mountain West, which includes all those different locations that I mentioned. But we have close to 500 people within Mountain West series currently. So we've definitely grown a lot in the 7 years I've been here. When I started, we had roughly 250 people. So we've almost doubled in those 7 years, and it's been really fun to be a part of it.
So I had just a quick question for you, Linda.
Sure.
So out of all the representatives we've talked to, it's interesting how little of them majored in risk management. And so you having gotten your degree in psychology, you said, how has that helped you, or how have you been able to apply that to a career in insurance? I think it's cool to hear how people have applied, you know, economics or just some various different degrees to insurance. So you specifically, how did psychology fit in there for you?
It fits in pretty well for me. I do a lot of like the benefits piece of things within our organization. And I think, like you said, there aren't a ton of people that are in the industry that have majored in risk management and insurance. Like a lot of our associates have various degrees from history to art, all sorts of different backgrounds. And I think they all fit in well because really the key piece of it is that client relationship piece for us. You know, a lot of it, like brokerage, is building those relationships and being able to consult with people and those types of things. So I think any major can really be in the industry, but the RMI background is very helpful for the technical aspects of it and just like the general understanding of like how insurance works and what is a brokerage and like what some of the pieces are there. So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So as far as our resume workshop today, guys, so I think originally what we were planning on doing was having us go individually into breakout rooms with Miss Linda. Since we have just a couple of people here today, I think it'd be more beneficial for us all to stick in a main session. And if everybody's comfortable with sharing their screen with their resume on in a main session, is that okay with everybody?
I'm cool with that.
Fantastic, fantastic. So how I kind of wanted to format this was I wanted to first let Linda kind of just give us some general pointers and tips for resumes that she sees from the professional side, just so that we have like a general understanding of things to look for in our own resumes. And then once we complete that, I can go ahead and start us out first. I will share screen my resume, and I do have 1 or 2 questions about my resume for Linda that we can kind of discuss, and then after that, we will move on to the next person. So, Linda, do you have any just general tips or pointers for us that from the professional side of it?
Yeah, I think one of the tips that I always say is that it's helpful to have a resume that's in chronological order and that's easy to read. So like for me, I really like bullet pointed resumes because it makes it really easy to go through and see what the experience is, highlighting some of the like your education, any volunteer experience you've had, or work with organizations such as Gamma, Iota, Sigma. Like those things really jump out to us. Like especially at Lockton, we're looking for people that are interested in being involved in the community. So we look at that. Any internship experience you may have that's relevant, customer service experience, like those are some of the things that we really look for when we're reviewing a resume. And I think, you know, you can use a lot of different styles of resumes as long as it's in an organized fashion. Like that's really helpful for a recruiter who's looking through those resumes.
And so then on the flip side, are there any things that are just huge red flags that you would see in resumes that you say, stay away from doing this, these are big no-nos?
I don't think there's anything that I've seen that's a big no-no. I think it's better to kind of keep it more relevant to experience. I know that people sometimes put like personal interests on there, which is okay. Like it's not a bad thing, but it's not necessary, especially if you have like a longer resume or that sort of thing. And then like putting a photo on the resume, you know, like those types of things, I feel, and this may be more personally than anything, but I don't feel like it's necessary to have that. It's really about the experience, and that's what I'm looking at and what I want to see when I'm reviewing a resume.
So like, for instance, I've always heard that you should try to keep your resume to 1 page. Is that correct? Is that something where if you were to receive a 3-page resume, you'd instantly be kind of off put to the candidate?
I think there is something to be said about keeping it shorter. So if it's 1 page, that's great. But I also think you want to make sure you're highlighting your experience. So for someone maybe who has, you know, quite a bit of experience, they might have a 2-page resume, and I don't see anything wrong with that. But yeah, if it gets into like a book, then that might be a little much.
Absolutely. So I will go ahead, and I believe I have my resume back here ready to go. I do. So I'll go ahead and share my screen
Okay.
with you guys. If you could let me know if it looks okay. Give me 1 second. All right. Can you guys see my resume?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So, so I'll just give you a second to kind of look through, Linda, this. Just let me know when you need me to scroll down. And then if there's anything that you think that I did well or things that need improvement, I'm all ears to whatever comments or concerns you have.
Okay, great.
Scout, eh?
Back in the day.
Okay, so shall we talk a little bit about, yes, let me see the bottom. Okay, that's good. I like your about me paragraph. I like the summary that you've included there because that gives me a picture, kind of a well-rounded, holistic picture of who you are and what you're looking for. So I think that's a great piece to include. Definitely, you always want to have your education and then your expected graduation date listed there. And I think that looks really great. And you've highlighted some of those courses that may be relevant to the positions that you're applying for, which is definitely a good thing to do as well. I like the achievements and awards. That looks great. I might recommend moving the work experience up and having the achievements and awards after the work experience, because I think we do want to see what have you done, you know, in terms of education and experience foremost. And so I think that is a good place to have that. And like I mentioned earlier, for me, like it's easier for me to read if it's bulleted out. So like if you were to list the items that you have under your work experience in a bullet format, or just like in separate lines even is fine. It just helps in reading through it a little bit more easily.
And so one question I know that I had just up front was regarding my work experience section. So I only listed my most previous job. Do you think that's something that I should expand upon, even if my previous employment wouldn't necessarily apply to the like career that I'm searching for? Or do you think I should just keep it at the most previous work experience?
Yeah, I think I like to see a lot of work experience, well, not a lot, but I like to see, you know, more work experience. So if there are other things that you feel could be included, that's good. Even if they're not necessarily relevant, skill sets can translate over, especially, you know, like I mentioned earlier, we really look at customer service or client service experience very highly, and that's something that we have as a preferred qualification in our entry-level account administrator program that we hire for. And so I like to see, if you have any of that sort of relevant experience. I think that's helpful to include. I don't think you need to include like every single, summer job you've had, since the beginning of high school or whatever it might be. But having like a couple of different pieces of work experience, or if you've had an internship, ensuring that you're including that is definitely helpful.
Absolutely. So I haven't had any internships thus far. I have worked for Marriott for the past 5 years. So if I were to add more work experience, it would be more of the same in just different cities. So I wasn't sure if that would give a more well-rounded view of me, or if that would just be kind of extra clutter that isn't really necessary. So I just wanted to get your opinion on that for sure.
I actually think it would be good to include that.
Okay.
If you have been working for the same company for that long, that shows that you're very committed and loyal to that organization. So I think it's definitely good to include that. And you can probably list it out where, so I'm assuming you've had different roles at the different
Correct.
companies.
Yeah. So it's work my way up from just an agent up to,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can put it in there. It can still be one piece of work experience, but you can list out some of the different jobs you've done, or titles that you've had, but also kind of focus on this current experience. So you don't need to necessarily put bullets for each position you've had, but you can say, I've worked, for Marriott since 2015 to present.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that definitely helps. I just wasn't sure if, like I said, if that would just be extra clutter that would turn an employer off, or if it was actually valuable information in there. And it sounds like it would be valuable information.
Yes.
So that would definitely be a good addition to make. And then the only other question I had was in my About Me section. The last sentence, it says that I'm seeking to gain immersive experience in the financial industry, which is the career path that I'm shooting for. But I was wondering if that would restrict me in my search for internships. If I put in there that I'm seeking experience in the financial industry, would that turn me off from employers in other industries that might want to hire me?
I would adjust it as you're applying for positions. So if you were applying for an insurance position or something, I would just change the word to whatever the industry is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's an easy fix. Awesome.
Yeah.
So those were my only 2 questions for you, Linda. Was there anything that you see that would just be an easy bolster of my resume, or is everything looking kind of all right?
I think it looks great, Caleb. You've done a great job on it. And I think just the comments in regards to adding the additional work experience and sort of changing a little bit of the format to make it easier for reading through is great. And it looks good. So great job.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. So I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Charles or Jerwin, either or of you are welcome to hop up next.
I'll go ahead and go next.
Awesome.
And I will share my screen. So let's see. I had to pick which resume to go with because I have so many.
Yeah. Should we review all 46 of them?
Yeah, we got.
I mean, I am always down for some to get better in terms of resume building or whatnot. But I will use the one. It was for a actuary position, and I thought it was pretty cool. Let me find it first. And then, of course, as soon as I look for it, it's gone. Okay. Oh, okay. Here it goes. And let's see. All right. Can anybody see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome.
I can.
Awesome.
Yep.
So, yeah, this is my baby. This is my template for my resumes. So a little bit about my resumes. I I try to make it a masterpiece. Like I will take the job description and I will make it to where when somebody reads my resume, they're like, holy crap, like this is our guy. Like that's my big thing. So like everything you see in my resume has some type of it's related to some type of way to the job posting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at the top, just general information, phone number, email address, LinkedIn, and then my heading, it's always going to have the job posting title, and then a couple bullet points. I actually, in my updated resumes, I've actually taken out the bullet points because I actually have a lot more experience. And the job I actually got hired for recently, they were like, yo, you should they told me, they were like, yo, you should delete your bullet points and like put more experience, because that's what we're kind of looking for. And like the bullet points that I have can be just kind of put in a cover letter. So I thought that was kind of helpful. So for areas of expertise, so I know some of that stuff might like sound weird, but for actuary folks like Stata, it's just it's a data analytics software program. So like anybody familiar with Stata or actuary science, like as soon as they see it, they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what that is. And education, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. I got my associates in 2014, and then obviously economics, Bachelor of Economics from UCD that I'm currently in. Organizations, internships, and professional experience.
Yeah, it looks very good. I like how it's laid out. The format looks good. Like it's easy to read through it, pretty quickly, and then also go back to any areas that, we may want to read further about. So I like that. Okay.
Also, if anybody sees anything that looks weird or could be improved, definitely feel free. I love constructive criticism. So yeah.
I just want to say I love your organization, and then also just the notion of tailoring your resume to a specific job posting. I just think that that's really interesting, something I haven't necessarily thought of before. But you're right. I mean, if you tailor your resume to a specific job posting, you're more likely to look like you are the man for the job, for that reason. So sorry, that was just my little 2 cents.
No, that's good. I was going to say that too. I really like that you've tailored it to the actual job description and included some of those keywords that are noted there. That definitely is helpful and makes your resume stand out to the people who are reading through it.
And if you would like me to scroll up or...
Okay, I'll let you know. I was like, I'm having a hard time finding anything to critique about it. It looks really good to me. Do you mind just scrolling right back up to the top there? Thank you.
So I should probably throw this out there. Like I've actually had a ton of resume writing and building training. So like in terms of building resumes, I've actually had a couple people, I've actually built resumes for a couple people, but I love this template. I actually got this template from UCD, and before I had this template, my other template was just what I did was I looked up Elon Musk and his resume and how fancy it was, and then I modeled my resume after his, and it was just super fancy and all this good stuff. And then I got this, which it kind of looks boring. It's just white and black. There's no color, no pictures or anything. But I've definitely had more success with this template than the fancy template, which kind of goes back to what you were saying, because in my earlier resume, I had a picture on it. I had all these cool hyperlinks and all this good stuff. But I actually have more success with this template.
Yeah, I like this template because it is, like I was saying, it's easy to read. And it does, it has the different separation between the areas, with your expertise, education, internships, all of that. So I think it looks very lovely, and you've done a wonderful job on this.
Hey, Charles, I had a question for you. Where did you say you found that template from? You said you found it from UCD?
Yeah, so I can send you the template that they sent me, but so whenever because you have to go through the experimental learning center to have your internship approved through the school, and the guy who's in charge of the economics internships, I think his name is Nathan. He's super cool. And he was like, hey, here's a template to use for your resume if you would like, and I've been using it ever since.
Yeah, because I mean, I just love the format of that. It's just so easy to read on the eyes, it's just, yeah, I like it a lot more than mine. So if I could steal it, much appreciated.
But yeah, this is where is it? This was me peak job searching.
Yeah.
So as you can see, like resume and cover letter for all these companies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But you did get you got the job, and so that's just proof that hard work does pay.
Sometimes.
Awesome. Derwin, did you want to go ahead and throw up your resume?
Yeah, sure.
Let me stop sharing my screen. There we go.
Can you see it?
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So for me, I'm actually pursuing an internship for spring 2021. I haven't really gotten a call back on anybody, so I am like freaking out to see if I am actually doing this correctly or not. And the people that did call me back said that I had too much experience. So I don't know how to cut this thing to where it looks like they'd want me as an intern.
Mm-hmm.
Since for the RMI program, our internship is required for us to graduate.
Yeah, it looks, the first part of it is looking good. Do you want to scroll down to your experience, and we'll take a look at that?
If you don't mind me asking, Jerwin, did you reclass while you were in the Air Force, or did you just kind of get was it a change of responsibilities?
Change of responsibilities, basically. It's I held the same job, but every time you kind of like every 2 years you change positions, basically.
Nice.
I wonder if you might be able to condense your experience into like one, so you have your target experience listed, and then your Air Force experience, if that could potentially be condensed under like one heading for Air Force. Okay. That might just make it a little bit shorter in that space, so that if people are giving you feedback that the experience is too much, that maybe it would look like you would still be including the experience.
Well, they said I'm like overqualified for their the people that did call me back kind of said they had a problem with my overqualification for their program for interns. So they wanted me to take on more responsibilities when it came to, I guess, their internship that they have, and they are trying to plan on hiring me after, or like see if they can hire me after the internship. So it's more to the fact that I guess it's I just won't be getting them coffee every day or whatever.
Mhm. That's a good thing, I guess. Well, yeah, I think I'm still kind of reading the bottom. Like that's a possibility to do it that way. In terms of Lockton and what we do and when we're looking for our internship positions is we have a very set internship program. It follows a certain process in terms of like exposing the associate or the intern to like different areas within Lockton. So we do a rotational program where associates are going to different departments like within our commercial insurance group or within employee benefits and get to learn about those areas and take on different like small projects or tasks within those groups. So for me, like looking at your resume, I don't see an issue with the experience that's listed there. I think that's great and appreciate your service. And so I think you can shorten it if you would like to, but I hope, are you getting that feedback a lot from different companies or was it more of like a one
No, it was a one-off thing.
time? Yeah. Yeah, because I don't feel like that would be concerning too often, but I think it looks good. There are like some of this is going to be like sort of nitpicky, but like some of the hanging indent things, like where, for example, under United States Air Force ophthalmology surgical clinic administrator, on that bottom bullet point, you have like the future part is kind of hanging off to the left instead of aligned, which is just like a personal nitpicky thing, but just being able to like align all of those types of things would be good. I like that you include a lot of like details in terms of the numbers or dollar amounts in your resume. I think those help to really give a bigger picture as far as what you've done. So I like that part of it. And I think you've provided a lot of good information about what you've done. You may consider like in your objective, adding a little bit more there in terms of like what you may bring to the internship or what you're hoping to bring to that internship. So that could be something else to add.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So just for clarification, Linda, you said that from the professional side of things, you guys do like seeing numbers in resume because it gives a better picture, correct?
Right.
Okay, awesome.
I don't think you want to do like, you don't need to go overboard with it, but depending on, what role you're applying for, if the role is, more operational and they're looking for, plans as far as, I don't know, like, I guess I can just use recruitment for an example. Like if I were writing my resume, I might say, that I've hired 100 people, over this year period, or, those types of things, just to give the person a better understanding of the contributions that you've made.
Awesome. Duly noted. Thank you very much. So I do.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, so I had a question for Linda. I guess if you could point out like one factor or one thing that you see that just kind of immediately disqualifies, because I know like HR, whenever they look at resumes, sometimes it's like a 5-10 second scan. So like, what is like your maybe just a pet peeve of HR across the board where they read a resume and they're like, nope, not it.
I think it's probably like things like typos or misspellings like that come across, because if you have, 50 resumes to review and you go through one, and like for me, I can overlook a typo, but if you're seeing it like consistently throughout the resume, then that's a red flag, because that indicates that maybe this individual is not paying very close attention to detail, which is something that we really look for.
And so I just had kind of one final question for you as well, Linda, and it's a question that I ask everybody that we've met with this semester so far, and that is, from your personal view, why a career in risk management or insurance? I really want you to sell it.
All right, let's do this. I think,
no cards.
It's a really great industry. And I think a big piece of that is like the stability and the ability to grow and to move into different areas. And there's so much you can do in risk management and insurance. So like a brokerage is just one tiny piece of what you can do. There's underwriting, actuaries, like so many different areas that you can go into. And so, you're never really stuck in your career, because you can always learn more, and there's always so much change happening in terms of regulations and things of that nature that keep you on your toes, and you have to stay up with like what's happening and advances in the industry. So I think that is one of the things that I've seen in my career with Lockton as being definitely a plus as far as joining an insurance company or agency.
I can tell just by the way your face lit up that you enjoy it. So
I do. It's fun. And I like the people aspect of it too. Like, it's really just cool to be able to build these relationships with our clients. And I know a lot of our associates have like very close relationships with their clients. They've been working with them for decades at some, in some cases. And so they actually have like friendships with the clients as well as a work relationship. And just being able to problem solve every day, like those are some of the things that I think are really fun and challenging within the industry.
Well, thank you very much, Linda. I really appreciate your response. I just think it's so interesting to hear each individual's, personal reasons as to why they either joined a risk management career or why they're still doing it after 10, 20, 30 years. So that's really awesome to hear from you, Linda. Did you have any questions, Jerwin?
Oh, yeah. I have a quick question. One of my professors, she actually kind of pushed me into learning golf when it came to building more relationship with a potential client or your current clients. How important do you feel like golf is for the insurance industry?
Dude,
I love that question. Yes, that's an awesome question. I think it's like, it doesn't hurt, I will say that, because I think a lot of our clients and associates do golf outings, and part of our United Way campaign too has been like a United Way golf tournament that we do with our clients. So it's definitely a good skill to have and good game to play when you're in the industry. Not required though.
Oh, and then another question. I am still looking for a spring internship. Does Lockton, by the way, do internships for the fall, winter, or spring?
We usually do like a summer internship program. We didn't have it this year because of COVID, so we ended up not doing it. And I'm not sure what the plans are for this coming year, but typically when we do have an internship program, we'll hire anywhere between 2 and 4 interns. Typically it's within our commercial insurance department. And so like I mentioned before, you sort of rotate through those different commercial insurance groups and get the opportunity to work with different people in each of those departments, sit in on client calls and meetings. We really want people to understand like the whole dynamic of working in a brokerage and like what that all entails, so that you can make the best decision as far as if that's the path you want to pursue. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Well, if nobody's got any more questions, I think we can go ahead and wrap up for today. Linda, I just want to thank you again very much for your time and your contributions to this meeting. I know for a fact that Beta Mu will want to collaborate with Lockton and semesters in the future. I'm planning on being the president of the organization for a couple semesters here in the next couple of years. So I will definitely be reaching out to you in the future. Hopefully by the time we're allowed to meet in person, we can get some awesome in-person events. But yeah, I just really appreciate you and your time, Linda. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for your time, everybody. It was great to meet you, and I appreciate you letting me take a look at your resumes. And may I do like one quick shameless plug for our
You may.
our positions. So
absolutely.
we have, in addition to our internship program, we have an account administrator development program, and we hire for this typically every spring or every January and every June. And what the program entails is we bring in typically a group of associates. It's been anywhere between like 3 and 8 people usually at a time, but you go through a 3 to 4 week classroom-based training. It's a paid training program where you're learning, sort of the ins and outs of insurance, and you're getting taught by our subject matter experts internally. And from that point, you move into one of our departments as an account administrator. And the position is a lot of support in terms of getting like certificates of coverage ready, doing a lot of client service work. So you're interacting with our clients over the phone and by email, and supporting the team. So it's definitely a great opportunity to get into a brokerage firm. And we also offer a lot of opportunities for professional development. You'll start working toward your AINS right away in that program, and you have opportunity to grow then into other positions within the company. And we've seen a really great success with the program in terms of people then moving up into like an account manager and eventually, account executive. And we've even had some people who have moved more into the sales side of things too. So it's definitely a really cool program, and we've seen a lot of success from it. And so just want to throw that out there. We actually have some openings posted currently for both commercial insurance and employee benefits. So if you're interested in looking.
Where could we find more information on that?
Sure, you can go to our careers page, Lockton/careers, and you'll search in the US for Denver, and it's posted there on our website.
Awesome. I'm definitely going to look at that today, because that does sound like an amazing opportunity to get into a brokerage firm. So thank you so much for plugging that for us, Linda.
Yeah.
Hey, Linda, quick question. So what are the educational requirements for the accounts administrator position?
Sure, we look for like a bachelor's degree or equivalent experience in education for that program. It is pretty much like our entry-level opportunity, I would say, within the service teams. So we do provide that training. We look for that client service experience and some of those types of things in addition to education too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for your time. It was fun to join you today, and I hope it was beneficial for you, and look forward to connecting with you again.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks,
well, everybody, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Linda.
All rest
Thank you.
okay? All righty. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.